So you want to learn how to play Goldlewis? Well, you're in the right place, because I'm one of the few people to ever storm Area 51. As a matter of fact, this guide was made from inside his coffin. So without any further ado, let's get started. Goldlewis has fantastic mix-up and great range on his attacks, and as a result, your main goal is to get in close and land some high damaging combos. But first things first, let's talk about his security level in the bottom corner of the screen. This meter will change the properties of 2 of his special moves and also 1 of his supers, and the good news is it fills up all by itself. So for example, let's look at Thunderbird. By default, this special move does not travel very far whatsoever. Don't get me wrong, it's still good after a hard knockdown. It forces the opponent to block and you can go for at least 1 mix-up. However, once that security meter is at least 1 bar full, look how much better it gets. It travels further across the screen and it hits more times for more damage. And then if you let the meter fill up all the way, Thunderbird is going to travel even further and have even more hits for maximum damage. So 1 quick second while it fills up. Go Thunderbird, go! Whoa, look at him, he's now a full screen projectile. So as you can see, this meter is pretty important, but keep in mind every time you use Thunderbird, Skyfish, or Burn It Down, the meter will immediately reset to 0. Which means if you want that meter to fill up, you're gonna stick to normals and Behemoth Typhoon. Alright, so with all that out of the way, let's talk about how to get in with Goldlewis, because that's your main goal, and a lot of players are gonna want to keep you out. So what do you do if the opponent's running away and throwing projectiles? If your security level is low, then Skyfish is honestly still a great option. It has 10 hits and does good damage on block as well, starts up quick, and covers the entire screen. And just to make things even better, it will also destroy the opponent's projectiles, which means they can't zone you for very long once you get this bad boy out. And as mentioned earlier, this move gets better with your security level. So here it is at security level 1, it does twice as much damage and twice as many hits. And then once your meter is full, it does 3 times the damage and 3 times as many hits. Look at all that damage for a single special move. Once you abuse this move enough, the opponent's gonna get tired of it and want to come in. And of course that's just what you want, because this character is much better up close. And one more great option for getting in is Thunderbird. Now it's better when you have a higher security level, and just like Skyfish, it destroys the opponent's projectiles, which makes it much easier to get in. So in other words, you want to throw this bad boy out and then run in behind him, because the opponent's going to be scared to press any buttons. If they do, that move will land and they'll be opened up for a full combo. And then finally, if you're really desperate, Burn It Down can also be a great way to close the gap, because look at this, even on block, it brings the opponent all the way to you. They're almost within throw range, which is fantastic news. So if you have 1 bar meter laying around and you just can't get the opponent in close, don't forget about this super. It's really good. Alright, so now you're finally in close. What is your next course of action? Well, that's where Behemoth Typhoon comes in. This move is a mix-up monster, and it's also very, very complicated. As you can see by this picture on screen, it has many different options, but for now, to keep things simple, I'm going to tell you about the main 3 that are most important. So first up, we have half circle back. This move is very fast and your go-to option for ending combos. So right here, slash slash and then half circle back heavy slash. And even if the opponent blocks your normals, this is still a great option because it's too fast for them to interrupt. And then once the opponent starts respecting you, you want to do the overhead option. This is half circle forward on the top half of the circle. And as you likely guessed, that's almost impossible to do while staying on the ground, at least in the neutral. So what you actually want to do is buffer it during one of your strings. So for example, right there I did slash slash and then the overhead Behemoth Typhoon. As long as you input the motions during your normal attacks, your character won't leave the ground. And in case you're wondering why overheads are so important, they hit opponents who are crouch blocking, which is very common in most 2D fighters, especially Guilty Gear Strive. And as a result, this mix-up is going to work on a lot of players. And to make things even better, this overhead launches the opponent to start combos. So if your opponent blocks incorrectly, they're in for a lot of hurt. Or if you have the meter, you can go straight into his super for an absurdly undeserved amount of damage. Look at this nonsense. Now the one bad thing about this overhead is that it's slow on startup, which means the opponent can actually hit you out of it. But as mentioned earlier, you do have an option to beat this. Just do the faster version of Behemoth Typhoon, which is half circle back. And this move has a low option as well, though it's not the easiest to pull off. You start it down, then go to back, and all the way to up. So it's a half circle in that direction. Now the issue is the range on this move is not very good, but it does switch sides and can extend combos as well. So it certainly has its benefits. If your opponent is stand blocking all the time, then you want to hit him with this option. And those are the main 3 versions of Behemoth Typhoon that I recommend you memorize, but as an honorable mention, half circle forward will bounce the opponent off the wall if they're close enough to extend combos. And that's a big deal because one of this character's main strengths is his damage. However, with that being said, sometimes damage isn't always the best option. Sometimes it's better to go for a hard knockdown and then cancel into Thunderbird for more pressure. Setups like this will keep the opponent blocking in place, which allows you to go for more mix-ups, whether it's your Behemoth Typhoon or your Air Heavy Slash, which is actually a very good cross-up. So just keep that in mind. Sometimes damage isn't always the best option. Maybe go for a knockdown into a setup instead. And one more fun fact about Goldlewis is his throws combo into his Heavy Slash, which is nice. So next up, let's talk about defense. Now in this one regard, Goldlewis is a bit weak because he does not have any invincible special moves, but thankfully one of his supers does have invincible frames on startup. So as long as you have 1 bar of meter, this attack is great for getting the opponent off of you. And this move is also hiding a bit of a secret, so it can also be done by doing a full circle, and it has similar properties to the regular version. However, if you perform 2 full circles, then you'll unlock the most damaging version of the super, and as you can see, that's quite a lot of damage for just 1 bar. Now real quick, a word of warning, if done from further away, you will not get the full animation of the super. The damage is still fairly good, but you are missing out on a tiny bit of damage. But now let's say the opponent is jumping at you from above. What do you do? Well, thankfully Goldlewis actually has a pretty godlike forward punch. This thing is fantastic. Look how high up it hits. That's honestly fantastic because moves like this already have upper body invincibility, so to have it hit that high is simply amazing. And as you just saw on counter hit, it does knock the opponent down to extend combos. And next up we have crouching heavy slash. It's a bit slow on startup, but since Goldlewis gets so low to the ground, it's kinda hard for the opponent to hit him. And as a result, it's not a terrible option for anti-airing the opponent, especially if you land a counter hit, because that's great for starting off combos. Or if you want to meet the opponent in the sky instead, jumping punch is your fastest option, or you can jump backwards and do slash. This move has a pretty darn good hitbox on it, so it's great for retreating and hitting the opponent as you back up. And now finally the moment you've all been waiting for, the combos. As mentioned earlier, Goldlewis does some big boy damage. So let's go ahead and start off with the punch combo. So if you're really close to the opponent, you want to do punch, and then forward punch, and then cancel that second hit into half circle back heavy slash. So the full combo should look like this. And if that damage isn't crazy enough for you, don't forget you can always forward dash Roman cancel to keep things going. After the Roman cancel, you want to do close standing slash into crouching heavy slash, and then end with 1 more half circle back heavy slash. Put the entire combo together and it looks like this. And as you can see, I got a wall splat from mid-screen, which means I can break the wall by doing a second Behemoth Typhoon, or maybe even a super if I feel like it. And don't forget, Behemoth Typhoon also has an option to switch sides. And after launching the opponent, you want to do punch into half circle back once again. Put the entire combo together and it looks like this. However, maybe you want to go for a Thunderbird setup instead. If that's the case, it's very simple. Just do standing or crouching kick and then cancel into crouching dust and then use Thunderbird. So the entire combo looks like this. Nothing too fancy, but it's great for setups, especially if you have the opponent cornered. Alright, but now you want the big boy damage. You're really close to the opponent, maybe you just blocked an invincible attack, and it's time for a big combo. In that case, you want to do slash, heavy slash, and then half circle back like before, and then forward dash Roman cancel. And then after the Roman cancel, you want to get in close and do slash, crouching heavy slash, and then half circle forward slash. But then let's say you land the overhead. In that situation, I recommend close slash, crouching heavy slash, and then end with half circle forward heavy slash. Put the entire combo together and it looks like this. Ooh, look at that chunky damage. And I bet if I was a bit closer to the corner, I'd actually get a wall bounce. Yes, I did, which means I can get a wall splat with half circle back heavy slash and then break the wall with forward heavy slash. Let's go ahead and see what that combo looks like. And now how about a corner combo? Everyone loves corner combos. And as you can see, this one does a lot of damage even though it's not that complicated. And then to end the video, I have one final corner combo for you. So forward heavy slash can actually combo into half circle forward heavy slash for a wall bounce. And after the wall bounce, it's the usual combo. Slash, crouching heavy slash, then half circle forward heavy slash again. This will splat the opponent against the wall. And once again, how you break the wall is up to you. If you want maximum damage, go for the super. Alright everyone, that's about it for my Goldlewis guide. Please leave a like down below if it helped you out, because that really does support my channel channel a ton. And then while you're down there, keep that combo going by suplexing that subscribe button. That way you never miss a future video. Make sure to come back next time, and as always, stay underdogs.